Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a good one. We are actually getting some good news out of Aptera, and we are going to talk about that. So let's get into this baby. Welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you here. We welcome everybody to Free Power. And we're going to talk about some interesting things that Aptera is doing right now. They are actually expanding their solar production. And let's go ahead and check this information out and talk about why they need to do that.
While the vehicles are getting validated, Aptera Solar has built their clean room and are now able to make panels in a dust-free environment. I'll hand it off to Reed to explain what this means for production readiness of our solar production process. Take it away, Reed.
So behind us is our new Aptera Solar Clean Room. And what a clean room is just a space where we want to control how clean the air is. Built to ISO 8 specs, we use it to make sure we don't have any particulate in our laminates and our solar panels, make sure they get as much light as possible. And we do this in a few ways. We wear gowns, we have positive air pressure, so we're constantly circulating air. We have a HEPA filter, we wear gloves and hairnets, and all of this is just to keep our solar panels and what's inside our solar panels as clean as possible.
This is a pivotal moment for Aptera. Our production intent vehicles are advancing through the validation phase, and we're hard at work striving towards a truly democratized way to raise the capital needed for us to start production in 2025. We couldn't be more excited about what's to come. Thank you for your continued support, and let's make this a year to remember.
Now we can see that Aptera is cranking up their solar panel phase. They are actually going to start mass producing it. And it's going to be good that they are, because they're going to receive revenue from other sources. I remember when Sandy Monroe talked to them last year. And actually, I have a clip of that. Let's check that out.
We have also been looking at other industries where we could not just add solar, but really move the needle, like radically change their application. And that's what we're able to do with the airline. We've taken it from having to plug it in every several days to never having to plug it in at all. And when you're deploying new electric vehicles across an airport, because there's a major shift to electric with all the ground equipment, one of the big problems that comes up is the chargers, where to install them, the lead time, the cost. You can't drive a big tug all the way across the airport to charge it. It needs to charge where it is. It's not designed to drive that far. So solar really solves a lot of problems in that industry, and we're excited about that space.
Well, I think that that airports are a wonderful place to start, but at the end of the day, I think that there's a ton of other applications that your solar system should be able to solve.
So. Absolutely. We've got a working list internally for the folks doing business development. I don't want to disclose it to the world, but there's certainly lots of opportunity.
And shortly after that, we learned that Aptera was actually working with Polydrop to put panels on their trailer, and also with Everest, using the vehicles that was transporting the luggage and other equipment from one part of the airport to the other part of the airport. They were actually putting solar panels on that. So we see that Aptera is moving ahead as far as putting their solar panels on other vehicles. But then they went ahead and they showed us the Aptera at CES, and then Steve Fambro had a interview on the podcast Mind Blowers, and there were some very interesting things he said there.
Do you think that companies like Tesla will adopt some of the technology that you're using at Aptera, so they will basically be wrapped in solar panels as well? Or do you think what you're doing is unique and will not be scalable anytime soon?
I think they already are. I mean, we're working with two different OEMs right now, automotive OEMs. One is well established, and one is new but very well known. And in both applications, not all their vehicles, but some of their vehicles, we really move the needle. Like our solar would be transformative for that product and for the consumers that operate it. whether it's like a what do you call it, a retail product or like a commercial product. In both cases, they move the needle. So I think reducing the friction of any product or service always means more adoption. And so with our solar, think about it in that way, we're reducing the friction. We're reducing the number of times you have to plug it in. We're reducing the hassle. Like my house, I have 3 electric vehicles, 3 drivers in my house, and 2 plugs. And so it's musical cars in the driveway and the street. Who gets to charge? And it's like there's a grievance hierarchy of who has the least charge on the vehicle they get to charge first. And so anything that removes that, so I don't have to bicker with my family about charging. Well, that's nice. That's a nice thing. You don't have to think about it anymore. It's always topped off. I think we have the opportunity with a lot of other products and companies, and we're pursuing it quite heavily. We have a team that is doing nothing but business development, trying to get non-Aptera revenue or non-vehicle sale revenue into the company, because we believe our intellectual property has value outside of the current vehicle that we're building.
So how quickly do you think this will scale? When do you think we'll see, let's just say Tesla or some of the other large car companies actually adopting this technology of solar cells on the car and commercialize it?
That's a great question. Would it be within a year? Probably not a year. But I think anything at any large company, takes longer than it does at a startup. We're a small company. We make decisions very fast. And if it's a wrong one, we can quickly go back and change and adapt. Bigger companies, larger public companies, they have different governance and different ways of going about their business that we have to work within. So we're really working at their speed. So I can't say, but I can say that the conversations, they're not just conversations. We're hopefully, maybe we'll have something to announce publicly in a couple of months.
Okay, but we are not talking decades. We're talking less, if I understand you correctly.
Yeah, definitely not decades. A few years at most, I think.
Right after that interview that he gave, we find out that they actually started working with Tilo trucks, and they were putting solar panels on that vehicle. Of course, he also mentioned another company. Well, he didn't bring out the name of the company, but he said that they were working with another company and that they might reveal that name pretty soon as well. So we'll just have to look forward to that. And we can see that Aptera is really moving things right along, especially starting with their solar. And no doubt this is going to create big revenue for them to get their vehicle out on the road. So many things that Aptera is doing. How do you feel about the direction they're going? I'm glad that they got the clean room set up so they can go ahead and start producing mini panels for these other companies and bring in revenue for the Aptera. But once again, tell me what you think. How do you feel about what's going on with the company? And we're just going to go ahead and end it right here. Thank you so much for your time and patience and for watching the video. Give a shout out to my patrons. You guys always have been there. Continue to support the channel. And thank you everybody for actually watching. So y'all take care. You enjoy the rest of your day. We'll catch you in the next video and the next move that Aptera makes. When I find out, you will find out. All right. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.